Oh, right. So, apparently, we're getting some footage of the new Battlefield. For context, I've been a fan of Battlefield for a long ass time, since I was a little kid. Started out on Battlefield 1942, alongside like Delta Force and some other military type games. Some of the first military games I played. 1942, first online multiplayer experience I think I had, if I remember correctly. Played quite a bit of 2142 at a friend's place. That was a fun time. Then we get to Battlefield Modern Combat, not Battlefield 2. I don't think I ever actually played 2, but Modern Combat I played quite a bit of. I think that was a 360 exclusive with the body switching. That was a good time. Then we had where are we at? Battlefield Bad Company, I believe, would be next. Yeah, Battlefield Bad Company, which I absolutely was obsessed with that game. I loved the campaign. I loved the comedy and the concept of soldiers going AWOL to steal gold. Loved it. Then Bad Company 2, which gameplay-wise was the better game and the multiplayer was way better. I do miss the comedic aspect behind it for the campaign. That was kind of a disappointment for me, but that's fine. And then, of course, Battlefield 3 and 4. Became hyper obsessed with those games. Became a true PC gamer, I suppose, when those games were out. Battlefield 3, I think, is the only... No, Battlefield 3 and 4 were both the only games that I bought twice because I had them on consoles, and then when it started switching to PC more regularly, bought those again. So that was cool. Played a bit of Battlefield 1. Wasn't that big on it, in all honesty. I feel like the gameplay didn't match the aesthetic, I guess, in a way. I could never get over that, automatic weapons are so heavily present in that game, but what are you gonna do? And then the very little bit I played of 2142 I did not like. I played like a beta for Battlefield 5 as well. Did not like it. I had cool ideas, but just did not speak to me very much. So I've had a long history with Battlefield. And it's had its ups and downs. So I'm cautious about this new entry. They say they are going back to the roots of Battlefield with class system and, a more serious setting and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see. This does not seem like it's an actual official trailer for Battlefield, the new one. This looks like it's some other thing, but I've been hearing that there is some gameplay for the new Battlefield in this. So we'll take a look. This isn't just going to turn into a reaction channel. This is just, I'll occasionally stop to talk about things that are interesting to me. So let's give it a shot.
Defending that last point in Breakthrough.
You and your squad going together, trying to accomplish something.
Helicopter crashes into the building next to you, and all of a sudden the roof drops on your head.
The vehicle play is the destruction. You've got tanks, you've got jets.
You get a bit sweaty in your palms.
That full, all-out military experience. It's just unlike any other game I've played.
This franchise comes with a long history, spanning over 20 years now. But the question is, how do we continue to build on that and push Battlefield to the next level?
All right, so we're talking next level. All right. First, you might want to get your foundations going. And this isn't just going to be shit talking. I mean, I've been like making games is hard. I get it. And trying to appeal to old fans and new fans is a hard balance to strike. Yeah, I never like the next level discussions because the last time I did that with 2142, it was like we're gonna have 100+ people on a map. which admittedly I was excited for at first until you actually start like breaking it down. I was like, oh, that's a lot of people to balance. So especially with Battlefield gameplay, it works for something like Squad, which is much slower paced and a much more methodical and much more heavily team based type of affair. Battlefield, wild team based, is much more fast paced, and you can manage on your own fairly well in Battlefield in a lot of aspects. It didn't work with 100 some odd people running around doing whatever. But let's just keep going.
I've been playing Battlefield since long before I joined the team. When 1942 first came out, the amount of fun that we all sat down and had with it is just, still like a fond memory. So in joining the Battlefield team, it was about the opportunity to give the team that space to do something just more amazing even than they've done in the past.
We set out with this ambitious idea of creating this new Battlefield universe. And to make that vision reality, we had to think big.
Each of our 4 studios comes with its own culture and expertise into what we call Battlefield Studios.
Okay. I'm very mixed on the whole multi-studio project kind of thing. We got 4 different studios all across the world, all with different mindsets, all with different, teams and ambitions and all that kind of stuff. Now, I know a lot of games have a lot of studios that work on stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm hopeful that these guys at least have one consistent vision that they're trying to strive for, and not all like trying to too many cooks in the kitchen, if you would. Too many cooks in the kitchen. That's what I meant to say.
One team that spans across the globe and combines 20 years of franchise experience with emerging talent.
DICE has such a rich history with Battlefield. We've been working on it for years and years. But we also want to do something bigger and better than we've ever done before. And you can't do that with one studio.
I mean,
DICE is responsible for the multiplayer part of the game, which incorporates things like destruction systems, class play, squad play, vehicles, gadgets, all of those kind of underlying systems that drive the experience.
So here at Motive, we're working on multiplayer maps, and we're also working on single-player mission content.
We're driving a cinematic experience to the level that's never been done on Battlefield before.
Ripple Effect has a long history of working on the Battlefield franchise.
We're working on an experience that is really going to open Battlefield up to a whole group of new players, but really still exciting that core audience that has made this franchise so successful.
Criterion have been supporting Battlefield for a decade now, and now we're going to bring that to the table as a fully fledged kind of partner in the Battlefield studios.
Mainly, we've been focused on the single player experience. So the campaign is back for Battlefield.
That's good.
We have
So, that's an aspect that is actually kind of comforting in that each team, they're not all like dipping their hands in the same thing. They all have their own thing. We got DICE with the multiplayer. We got what was the team? Not DICE. Who were the guys?
So here at Motive, we're working on...
Motive. They're focused on building out maps and levels. Criterion is working on the campaign, which is great, and I love that we have like an actual campaign now. I think Battlefield campaigns are interesting, and they're basically war movies. Like Call of Duty gets kind of weird with its like stories a lot of time. They almost fall into more like espionage thrillers a lot of the time, even when they are military shooter games. Battlefield's always been pretty standard soldier gunman stories, except for like Bad Company, which, I don't think we're gonna get a Bad Company kind of story in this one. I don't really know what Ripple Effect's supposed to be doing. They just said, "Oh, we will work with Battlefield for forever." I I would have to look at what they've done with Battlefield. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna assume they probably work on like visuals or something like that. Maybe like graphics optimizations or something to that effect. Maybe I will Google real quick what Battlefield. So it looks like they were involved in a lot of post-content development with the Battlefield 1 and 5, I think I saw. Alright, let's keep moving.
We have never before had this many teams and talents dedicated to the development of Battlefield.
Scary.
And we have a plan to create a new, exciting future for the franchise, alongside our players.
This game has so much potential. So I think it's about giving the team this time to really hone their craft.
We have to prototype, play test, get feedback,
and then repeat that.
The behind the scenes model looked pretty good.
Over and over again.
Looked
We
like
have to
actual
find
soldier
gameplay
dudes.
that really resonates with the players and then build on that.
Right.
Battlefield Labs is our new development initiative where players will get to test specific focus areas in the game.
We've done similar things in the past, but this is a whole nother level. We're doing it before we launch the game, and we're doing it with so much more content.
It's an exciting way for us to interact with our audience before things go live and make sure that what we have is really fun and polished.
I want to know what their selection process is for. Is this just like open for everybody? Like all like players like get to like download a thing, or is it like you get invited to the studio to test the project? So I want to know what their selection process would be.
And we have to test everything, combat to destruction to maps and modes.
We're going to test all the new features that we're putting out, and we're going to test hardware like weapons, vehicles, and gadgets.
We can try different things, but also validate what players are expecting from Battlefield.
That feedback is crucial in helping us know what to prioritize, what needs improvement, and what feels like a true Battlefield experience.
We're pre-alpha, so now is the time to test all the experiences our teams have been building for our upcoming launch and beyond.
Join our Discord where you can learn more about our new closed testing environment. We call it Battlefield Labs. Let's build Battlefield together.
All right. Let's take a look at that. Like last 10 seconds or so. All right, hell yeah.
Let's build Battlefield together.
No weapon, military vehicle, or gear manufacturer is affiliated with or is sponsored or endorsed this game. Does that mean we're going to get fake names for everything? That's kind of I don't like that. I don't like the fake names for guns and shit like that. All right. So, from those 10 seconds, pretty cool. Destruction seems like really big. Lots of generic soldier men running around. I hate operators. I hate heroes in basically every game that's not like just a straight up hero shooter like a Marvel Rivals or a Overwatch. So glad they're going with generic soldier dudes. Graphics look great. It's a very modern setting. It doesn't seem like there's any future tech that I saw. Cool. That said, no pre-orders. No pre-orders. Nobody pre-order this shit. I'm begging you. Do not pre-order. Because that just tells them that you're fine with whatever the fuck they've churned out. Respect yourself. Freaking don't don't spend money on something that could just be shit. Because Battlefield hasn't been that great. It's not been a terrible experience. And they have improved like 20 out of 42 from what I understand. But just respect yourselves a little bit. That's it. Gonna keep an eye out. I'll probably join the Discord and see what's up. If there's like a public alpha like test of some kind that you can join on, pretty cool. I'd be totally down for that. all that said, thank you for watching. Just wanted to see what was up with it. Again, we've got 4 studios working on this. They all seem to have a specific goal in mind. I don't know if that'll disjoint the mood or anything like that. Well, we'll see. I don't know. It's up in the air, but we will see as it goes on. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.